With Call of Duty Black Ops 6 basically upon us, it's creeping up. In a few days, we're going to go over the new characters once again and some of the new backstories for our main operators and kind of get to know them a little bit better. We did a video similar to this a while back, but we were kind of doing guesswork as we didn't really have official backgrounds for any of the characters. So today we're going to look at that. Now we're going to be meeting Jane Harrow, Troy Marshall, Felix Newman, Sear Dumas, and others. If we begin with Jane Harrow, we have a bit more of information on her. She's an operations specialist in the CIA's Special Activities Division. Jane Harrow coordinates mission planning and intelligence gathering alongside multiple paramilitary handlers. Harrow reports directly to SAD Deputy Director Daniel Livingston, who is the man seen in the launch trailer talking to Woods and Marshall. And now Troy Marshall has been making a name for himself in the field. A protege of Frank Woods, he is a methodical leader driven by a strong moral compass with a single-minded focus on overcoming adversity and a stubborn streak that borders on recklessness. And now Felix Newman, we have a little bit more info on him as well. He was raised in East Berlin after the formation of the GDR. Felix Newman excelled at sports but showed little interest in them, preferring to read or tinker with appliances and electronic devices. Following compulsory military service, Newman was recruited and trained by the Stasi. However, after several years within the ranks, Felix began to regret his association with the brutal Stasi. He started selling state secrets to West Germany and its allies to build a nest egg with a plan to eventually flee East Germany. After successfully escaping to the West, he made a living by providing the criminal underworlds of Europe with his technological expertise and inventions. We also got some more info on Sear Dumas and this cool new artwork, but she seems to be sporting a different type of hairdo compared to what we saw in the trailer. In the trailer, she had like long brown hair, and this one she has short silver hair. So it says here that Sear Dumas was taken in by the Guild, one of the Avalon crime factions, at a young age. Sear Dumas loyally served the crime family as they trained her to become an assassin and espionage expert. Her allegiance changed when she met the love of her life, an idealistic man who helped reveal the ugliness of the criminal underworld. When Dumas expressed her desire to quit the life of an assassin, the crime family manipulated her into thinking that her partner was an inside agent for a rival crime family. She orchestrated his death, but afterwards discovered that the ordeal was a setup to keep her in line. That is pretty crazy. She's gonna have a mean streak in her. That's a pretty damn cool backstory, to be honest. Sear disowned her adopted family and became an independent assassin, funneling her resources into waging a personal war against the Avalon crime faction. Her exploits eventually caught the eye of CIA operatives in Europe, who were eager to use her uncanny ability to track down elusive targets. We also have Frank Woods, who we obviously know, but he has a new bio as well, and it states here that Frank Woods ran away from home as a young kid. In 1981, he was invited by Russell Adler to join his team on a mission to stop an impending attack on the Soviet agent Perseus, which we covered in Call of Duty Cold War. During a mission gone wrong in Panama, though, his knees were blown out by Raul Menendez after being tricked into executing his best friend, Alex Mason. Grappling with his new life as the world enters a new post-Cold War era, Woods perseveres by overseeing his own Black Ops team and leveraging his skills, experience, and expertise to train a new generation of warriors. So there we have Woods trying to excel in the new life that he was put in, because a person like him would absolutely want to still be out there operating until, he died on the battlefield. But this is the next best thing he can do. So it'll be interesting to see how he manages without being able to be on the field. I got a feeling that's going to bother him, and there's going to be maybe a lot of growing pains for Frank Woods. Now, one of the more interesting ones that I have here was for Russell Adler, and it goes a little bit more into who he was. Still very mysterious, but it states here that Russell Adler is a cold-calculating CIA operative called in for the most difficult assignments. Framed as a mole after the disaster in Panama where Frank Woods was maimed, Adler fled without a trace. He is now considered a person of interest by the CIA with a capture or kill order in effect. So this is really, really cool because it's acknowledging that Adler may have had something to do with the events of Black Ops 2. One of the biggest things that some fans had regarding questions was that we had Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2, and there was no mention ever of Russell Adler. But then we have a story that takes place before Black Ops 2 in Cold War, and Adler is a big part of it. So a lot of fans were wondering, like, why is he so mysterious? Why wasn't he never mentioned? And this is acknowledging that he was present at some capacity during the events of Black Ops 2, and he may have had some involvement in what happened in Panama, whether it was good or bad. And it's really cool to see that confirmed, and I want to see where it goes. Now, finally, we have the official return of Helen Park, and here it just states that she entered Oxford at age 16 while earning a doctorate in international relations. It also states there towards the end that Park and Adler respect each other tremendously, but their partnerships aren't always pretty. She's methodical by nature and at times believes Adler is making snap decisions. And that is going to be interesting, especially if we see both of them interact. Is she going to help Adler? Is she going to be on board? Is she going to be on his side? Is she going to be against him? It's really interesting to ask these questions and figure this stuff out. Now, if you're asking where we got this information from, we got it from the official Call of Duty blog website, and I was reading their bios out to you guys so you're informed on the new characters and their official descriptions. This way you know exactly who they are before you jump into the campaign mode and you have a better understanding of what's going on.